All right. Welcome to Vikas Web channel. So, in my last video, I showed you how to do this React routing with latest router, that is router 6. So, uh, you can watch that video. Link is in the description. In this video, I'm going to continue from the same project, this dashboard project, and here I'm going to do protected route. That is certain routes that we give access only to people who are authenticated. So in normal case, if you have logged in user, you show them certain routes, and if they are not logged in, we restrict them from visiting those routes. And if that sounds interesting, please like that button so that others can see this video. With that said, let's start the video. So I'm here in VS Code. This is exactly the project that I did in my earlier video, and you can also find the GitHub link for that. So here we have everything wrapped, and we have everything inside dashboard. I'm going to use the same dashboard. It would be even better if I had a separate sign-in page where we would not show all the sidebar, and then if the user is logged in, then only we will show them dashboard or this sidebar. However, for the concept of this video, it really doesn't matter, so I think that's okay. So let's make a route called login route. I think that's where we'll start with, and I can give CSS here login. I'm not sure if I'm going to even do any styling, but let's see. Welcome to login page, and then we can also give a small p here. Please log in to continue, and then we will have a button, and all it does is on click we will do something. For now, let's not do anything. We'll come that in a little while. Login. All right, so that's all we need. And then let's go to our sidebar here, and let's add a couple of links here. Okay, so the first thing first, let's give it login, and let's write here login. I know it looks a little bit weird. We have a dashboard component and also login in the same. Additionally, we can wrap this inside a fragment and then check if user is logged in or not, and then only render accordingly. Actually, for logout, we don't even need anything here. For logout, all we need is button, and that says logout. All right, so let's go here, and you see here we have a very ugly looking logout button, and then we have login, and that takes us to login. However, we have to add login to our route, so let's go here. Let's import login from component, and that will be login. And just like everything, we can just go and create a route. We don't need this, and the path will be login, and element we are trying to render here will be our login element. All right, so as you can see, we have welcome to login page, please log in to continue. That's all. It doesn't look that good, but it does the job. Okay, it kind of looks a little bit weird. We have login in the same place, logout in the same place. We can do that a little bit later, but let's focus in the main thing here. So now what we want is we want to show all these pages or give them access, especially dashboard, tabs and settings, only if user is logged in or authenticated. If not, we will redirect them to login page. Okay, so let's do that. So for that, I would like to create a component, and that component, actually the same component like this, or actually anything can be. So let's call it protected routes. You can give it any name you would like to, but protected routes. And then what I would like to do here is that I will import a couple of things from React Router DOM. And the first thing, if you remember from my previous video, is outlet. So we have outlets here. That means whenever we give something in our children props, or if we wrap something and we have children's, to render that children, we need to have something called outlet. If you don't have outlet, basically we will not have these inner values of tabs. Similarly, our main application, if we see in routes, is also wrapped inside inner content. Okay, so if we go to our inner content, we have outlet there. Okay, so outlet is saying that the children needs to be rendered or not. If we don't have outlet, we don't have children. What we like to do here is we don't need any of these for now. So I need to create a function. So function can be actually I don't need a function, but I need some sort of parameter. So let's say auth, and for now we can say auth is true. Okay, and actually it's even better. Let's go and create a function here called useAuth, and it can be a separate hook, and later it can be also, and for now let's return true. Okay, so then instead of this we can have useAuth. So basically this is returning true or false. So this is manual for now, but we can use from actual server or context or local storage, however we like. Okay, but for now we have hard-coded value, and that's true. So now we have auth. Now what we do is we return based on if this auth is true, we return outlet, and if that's not true, so this is a ternary operator, and I have a separate video explaining about that. You can see it in the description. I will link it. So what I'm saying here is if the user is authenticated, if the value is true, and it is up to us how are we passing that value. Okay, like from context API, Redux state, local storage, from your server, however. So if that's true, then let it render all the children, just like how we are rendering our children. Okay, otherwise in other cases I am going to navigate it, and you see navigate is from React Router DOM, and navigating it to login. Okay, so and that's all. So that's all about this protected route. Now the challenging part comes, how to wrap all of these with protected route. In previous version of React Router, there was something called routing everything and passing the props. We can also define props here any, just for the sake. In future, if we need to pass some variable or some props, we can use it, but for now I'll just give it any because it's a TypeScript. It might complain me later. So in previous version of router, we used to pass our REST and component and everything there, and we used to do the authentication and render the children with all the rest of the properties. But in this, it's super easy with outlet. So let's go here. So all these are our inner content. Okay, so for our all inner content, what I want is I want our protected routes to take in the place. So first of all, let's input our protected routes from component and protected routes, and now we cannot do something like we used to do with previous version of routing, because this router is pretty smart. It will start complaining immediately. If I save it, okay, so if we go here and we will get something here. So what it says is protected route is not a route component. All the children of routes must be route. So all the children of these routes must be this route, which are imported from our React router DOM. So we cannot do this. So what else can we do? Okay, so here is the solution. So first we need to do is we need to wrap all of these inside another route. So basically we are routing all of this inside another route, and if you go, nothing has changed. If I refresh, it's the same thing as we had before. Okay, however, now here I can do something. Basically I can copy exactly the same thing we have here. I can copy here. So what is happening? This is the main route that renders inner component. However, inside it also we have the same direct, and that is also rendering the inner component. So basically nothing has changed, and I have explained about this in my previous React router video. What's the difference between rendering this or replacing this? If you render the same, then no matter what path you are giving, it will show the same component. However, if you replace it, it will redirect you to that specific path. So that's the difference. So now instead of this inner component, now what I can do is I can put protected route. You see, so when we are in the home path, our protected route will be in action. Okay, it will take place. So if this route is authenticated, so since this route is in action, the next thing it will check is whether this is authenticated or not. And if the authentication is true, we are rendering outlet. That means whatever the children of this protected route, so inside this route we have all of these as children. So whatever those children are, they will be rendered because of outlet. However, if it's not authenticated, then we are navigating them to login page. Now let's see if we have any error. So we have dashboard, we have setting. If we refresh, everything is good. That's perfect. It is because we have hard-coded value here, true. And let's make this false. Now, if I go to dashboard, you see, it redirects me to login. If I go to dashboard, you see it redirects me to login. Let's make it a little bit more realistic. So in real case scenario, we want to have this value dynamically from somewhere. But for this video, I will make it super easy, and that is we will use local storage. Okay, so let's do so that const user, let's get local storage get item, and all we need is user. Okay, if we have user, return true, else return false. That's it. And now the next thing is we won't have user in the beginning, so it will take us. But then let's go to our login page, our very beautiful login page. It's really bothering me, so let's go to our style.css, and somewhere here I will just do one very simple thing, and that is padding top. Basically, let's just copy this and let's put it here, so that way, okay, we have this. That's enough for us now, and we can do login button that's all our CSS. Okay, that's not I will still like to do one more thing, and that is also 30px. Okay, so that's enough. That's all we want, right? So let's go to our login page, and here we can have a function const login, and all that does is just save local storage, set item and user and some value. For here we can even have something called test, because it really doesn't matter. In real case there can be token and actual token existed and such. Okay, so all we need to do is on click, what we want is we want login. Well, actually there should be something called useNavigate, and then here navigate is useNavigate, and then we can do so that we can navigate to dashboard. So what happens is whenever user clicks login, it will set some item to local storage and it will navigate to dashboard. Okay, that's good. Then the next thing is we have to go to our sidebar, and then what we need to do is we have to also handle our logout. So what local storage, so remove item user. So all this does is remove item user, and then here also we can do the same thing, use navigation, and then we can navigate to login. All right, so here let's have logout. Okay, so initially we don't have anything. If we go to setting, or even if we manually type here to dashboard, it will take us to login. However, if we click login, we are inside dashboard. We can go to dev, we can do everything, and then even if we refresh the page, the state is persistent because we have everything in our local storage. However, if I click logout, it will take me back to login, and now if I go to dashboard or somewhere, we cannot do it, and that's all about it. So the next thing, it's a little bit bothering me, so let's just try to clean a little bit to here, like in our dashboard application. So what we want is, if we are in login page, we don't want to show this logout, because technically if we are in login page, it doesn't make sense we are showing logout, right? So it's super easy. All I need to do is I need to basically take this. Okay, so if the location, the path name is login, is not login, then please render this. All right, so in login page it doesn't render that. We can use a little bit, same technique. What we can do is, just like we have our protected route, so we can take this protected route, and then we can go to our sidebar here, and then we can have something like this. So what we can do is, okay, so if we have user, then we can render this, and also also this, if we have user, then only we want to show this logout and we want to show this dashboard and all. And then here we can do if not user, then we want to show this. All right, so now we have logout, and when we check in, we have only login page, and we have logout, login, logout. So the last one is here. When we are in login page, it still shows us login, although we are already logged in, right? And that should not happen. So for that, we can do many things. We can basically use the same technique. So if we go here, and instead of protected, if we make public route, and then here what we can do is we can make it public routes. Okay, let's also say this. Then we can do it the opposite way. So if user is authenticated, then what we want is, so let's reverse this. So if the user is authenticated, we want them to navigate to dashboard. Okay, otherwise we will do the outlet. And in the same way, let's go to our routes here. So similarly to this, let's import public routes from component and public routes. And then at the moment, this is only our public route. So let's wrap this first with our route, the same logic. And then let's also copy this exactly as it is. And then let's take this inside. All right. Okay. So what I want is, in this case, I want this to be public route. And let's try what happens. Okay, we have this, we have this. If we want to go to login, it will redirect us to dashboard. If we want to go to login, it will redirect us to dashboard. If we log out, if we want to go to login, it stays inside login. And if we want to go to dashboard, it still stays in login. And then the login page is not rendered. Okay, so that can be because we want full path. Yes. And now login page is rendered. We go inside login and we are logged in. And if I go to login, it is redirecting us to dashboard. And if we log out and if we go to dashboard, it is redirecting us to login. So that was all about today's video. If you like this video, if you enjoy it, and if you think that you learned something from this video, remember to like that button so that others can also see this video. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe my channel. Next videos are coming soon, and I'm also planning to make another routing video related to React route, because there are still things such as params, how to pass params, how to get params values and such. So a lot to cover even in React routing. So new videos are coming almost every week. So if you enjoy that content, definitely I will recommend you to subscribe. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. Keep coding. Bye bye.